Welcome back to the show. In episode 2 of Quarterback on Netflix, Joe Burrow talks about blocking out the noise around the Bengals' slow start. Then the show immediately cuts to Brew, who yells at the camera, "It's over."
Was I wrong?
You nailed it. Well, it's a new year and good news. First round pick Shamar Stewart, who finally signed, said Brew, you sounded the alarm bells early last year about Cincinnati. Do you expect this year to be different?
I'm not writing him off. You guys know I'm torn between the Steelers and the Bengals for my second best team in the AFC North. But Rick's guy, our producer, like Al Golden has got to work magic. Like, because we all know what the problem is, the defense, right? And
offensive line's not great either.
Right, but that Burrow's dealt with that a lot of his career. But we've seen it. Vic Fangio, that Philly defense was bad 2 years ago. And he goes in there and all of a sudden it's tops in the league. So it can happen. I'm not saying it's likely. Obviously, Lou Anarumo was really good. But then I look at their schedule too. Obviously, their own division. They're playing the NFC North. Then they also got Buffalo, Miami, Chicago. Like, you have some strong offenses that you have to face with this defense that right now we're saying, look, Shamar Stewart I think is a great pick. We'll see what he does as a rookie. But the biggest change right now is the offensive coordinator. The defensive coordinator. Yeah. And you're missing right now your best defensive player. I think they'll get Hendrickson done. They better. If they don't get him done going into the season, Coach, here's the bright spot for them. They should start 2-0. If not 1-1.
They never start 2-0.
I know, but you got the Bengals, you got the Browns, and then you got the Jaguars. At the very least, you should be 1-1, which is an improvement for them.
Last year they started with the Patriots.
You think if they start 0-2,
in the preseason.
If they start 0-2 this year,
it's a wrap.
They're going to probably have a new coach at the end of the season, assuming they wouldn't make the playoffs.
If they start 0-2, they might have a new coach before the end of the season.
But let's just talk about where everybody's talking about the defense, right? That's the problem. That's the problem.
I love it.
I'm serious.
But we've got a couple different problems, right? So last season, the receivers, they were frustrated with their contract. There were holdouts. Then there was the issue, Joe Burrow hurt his calf. I don't remember if that was last year or the year before. But we talked about the slow starts. Just bring up the numbers, so you can put it in perspective. So this is what it's been, okay? In the 1 year they didn't really have a slow start. That's the Super Bowl year, and these 1-3s, 1-3s, 2-2. So there's two issues here. One of it is a coaching issue. So when we just killed
McDermott.
Yeah, we just killed McDermott because he can't beat Kansas City in the playoffs, and we're not saying anything about.
They did beat Kansas City in the playoffs.
There is an element of coaching here for the slow start, and then the second thing is you paid everybody on offense. Everybody on offense bought a new Lamborghini, or 10 of them. Okay, so maybe your defense isn't going to be very good. It's probably not going to be what you need it to be. But if you bring up that schedule again, you're going to have to outscore these guys. You're going to have to outscore the Browns. You're going to have to outscore.
Good luck.
Go right on down the line. The only top 5 scoring defense in the first 4 weeks is Denver. So you paid the offense. The offense is filled with stars. You've had a history of slow starts. You should have worked on that. It's all right there.
The start should be
all right there.
It's all right there in front of you, and it's going to be there is no reasonable explanation as to why next year will be different than last year. None. Because here's the thing. Even if, I think Lou Anarumo was good. I think that, to Coach's point, he did not have, they spent their resources on the offense, and I think Anarumo, to go back to the Bills conversation, if everyone who plays in the AFC that isn't Kansas City has kind of multiple goals, but one of them is to reach the ultimate goal, we have to be able to deal with Kansas City in the playoffs. I wouldn't have gotten rid of the one defensive coordinator that over the last 5 years has given Mahomes trouble. I think it's a mistake, because even if maybe you get marginally better in certain ways and then all of a sudden Mahomes does to you in the playoffs what he does to the Bills. So I wouldn't have done it, but they
Buffalo, you should probably bring him in.
I said that. 100% but I think it's weird because McDermott's a defensive guy.
You can't run that defense back.
They blamed it on
him as opposed to blaming it on the personnel, which I think, listen, You drafted an awesome safety who was great for you in Jesse Bates. You didn't pay him. You have Trey Hendrickson, who you wanted a new contract 2 years ago. You're like, no, prove it to us again. Right. He leads the league in sacks. You still won't give him the money. So I think that why I am so pessimistic about the Bengals is I don't think it is realistic that Burrow will have quite as good of a year as he did last year, just because that was a career year by him, Jamar Chase wins the Triple Crown, all of it. So it's similar to what I was saying about Saquon. If last year was an A triple plus, let's just say he, instead of getting 100 on the test, he gets a 95, and the offense just takes a tick down, they can't sustain it. They couldn't sustain it with that offense. And so I think the Bengals are staring at a third straight year of missing the playoffs.
Wow.
And that should be unacceptable with that quarterback and those receivers, but I think that's what they're staring at.
I think we all said this going into this situation, but as good as T. Higgins is, it was an absolute mistake if you had to choose between him and Trey Hendrickson, I'm giving the money to Trey. Just because I already have Jamar Chase and a couple other pretty decent receivers, and I get it. The offense would take a step back, but the offense would still be great. That was a big mistake.
You spent the money, so now lean into it.
That's right.
Go outscore everybody. This is what we've chosen, and we could look back at it and say, oh, we should have done this or we should have done that. Try to get something done with Hendrickson to pacify him for a year. Look, he did do a new deal not too long ago. He just wants a new deal every time someone else gets a new deal.
But he's way underpaid, Coach.
He may be way
he's
underpaid.
He's at half the market.
But it's not like he hasn't done a new deal here. It's not that far removed from a new deal. But whatever, let's go get him, worked out, even if it's on short term, and then lead into the fact that you're going to have to score 30, 35 every game to win.
But Coach's old saying is just because you pay guys doesn't make them better. It just makes them more expensive.
More expensive.
And the offense is not going to get better. It's almost impossible for it to get better. Their quarterback almost won MVP, even though they missed the playoffs. The offense was so good. And I just see nothing. Listen, drafting Shamar Stewart I think was smart, and I'm glad they got him into camp. But I don't think that is enough to move the needle significantly in that division.
Let's head down to Jacksonville, where Coach Liam Cohen talked about supporting his quarterback, who threw for 41 touchdowns, just one interception, as a senior at Cartersville High School in Georgia. We need him to play well, but we're going to have to play well around him and help him. We've got to run the football better to help Trevor Lawrence. We've got to turn over the ball more on defense to help Trevor Lawrence. Trevor needs to take it over, and he's done a phenomenal job of learning the system, putting in the time and the work.
Yeah,
well, that's great for $300 million. Jacksonville, it's just good. He's working.
Number 1 overall draft.
Yeah, he's out there.
Right. What would you rather him say?
No, he's good. He got the binder. You know what? I saw him with his nose in a book. That's just fantastic. Face of the franchise.
What do you want Liam Cohen to say?
I think at one point he's the highest paid player in the NFL.
What do you want?
Guy's working hard. I saw him.
Isn't that good?
I saw him on the elliptical the other day. Jacksonville, second best odds in the AFC South before I was distracted, excuse me. More faith in Houston or Jacksonville?
All right, I'm going to make a proclamation here.
Oh, great.
I know it's not predictions week.
No.
So this isn't a team-related prediction. We'll wait for that for predictions week. And you guys can clip this, save this, throw it back at me. If Trevor does not have a better year this year than C.J. Stroud, the nickname's gone. Nickname's gone.
How are we measuring better year?
I'll let you guys vote on it. I'll stay out of it. I'll abstain.
Okay.
I trust Bruce and Coach's integrity.
Okay.
And you can be the deciding vote if they disagree, KW.
I don't think they're going to disagree.
I think that Houston's offensive line was hugely problematic last year, and they traded away their best offensive lineman. I think that the receiver injuries are significant, and now all of a sudden Joe Mixon is banged up in camp. Jacksonville, on the other hand, got better on the offensive line, brought in Travis Hunter. Brian Thomas Jr. was phenomenal last season, should only be better in year 2. I think that the coaching, wild take that if you've won a Super Bowl as a head coach, you have to be above all the non-Super Bowl winning head coaches was really put to the test by old Doug Peterson. But he's gone now. And I think Liam Cohen will be good for Trevor. And I think that while I don't love the back end of their defense at all, I think that they will have a good pass rush. And I like Bigsby and Etienne, but they might trade Etienne. I like Bigsby. So I think Jacksonville can be good. And I think Trevor understands what's at stake for him this season. And I think he will have the best season of his career and be the best quarterback in that division. There's no excuses. I'm leaving no room for excuses.
Was that proclamation similar to the Jim Harbaugh proclamation, just missing the he works harder than anybody else part? Like, that's what I would have, like, it sounded like, hey, we all have to do our part. But when Jim said it, he said it's because the quarterback is setting this example in so many different areas. And I didn't get that same sense
Liam's not quite as slick as Coach
Well, I just
Harbaugh.
didn't get that same sense of conviction that the work ethic is leading the group. And this is his 5th year.
Right.
This is
about time.
Yeah.
If he doesn't do it this year, when's it going to happen? I guess it's going to happen with the next 2 or 3 teams down the road. But I'm hoping for it because I love the Trumpeteers. I love those guys, and I really
This is devastating for them. They're at home like, what?
Yeah, I really look forward to when they come in, good or bad.
Yeah.
The first look that was. I mean, first of all, the nickname has been gone for a while. He's brought it back.
This is like when someone slowly sells their stock in like the company that they
I'm
own.
not.
What?
You were
selling
done
Tesla?
with-
What's going on?
He's been quiet quitting for a year.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not doing any of that.
You went like
for
a
the record.
season or
no,
three.
he was hurt, so we
4/5
didn't
of
talk
a season
about it.
without calling him the
Because
Prince.
he wasn't on the
He
show,
was
and you
Trevor.
guys made me stop.
You know,
All right.
so but
It was a proclamation.
no, I have more faith in the Texans. I mean, who's got the better quarterback?
Well, that's
It's
the
to be seen.
That's the question. But
right now,
CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
The better head coach. I mean, yeah, we'll see what Liam
Right
does.
now,
But
then.
D'Amico's been
Continuity, I
good.
like too.
Okay.
Right?
Now do
The better defense
Texas.
so far. Okay. You're right about the offensive line, but again, CJ's
Offensive line,
maneuvered
wide
that
receivers, running backs.
not receivers. I would give to Jacksonville,
It's not even a question.
but Nico is a very good receiver. I think bringing in Christian Wilkes,
Christian Kirk.
I mean Christian Kirk, yeah. That's a good number 2 receiver.
I watched him and man, you've always liked him.
He's done things in this league. I'm just saying, like that, for them losing Tank Dell and Stephon Diggs, this isn't a bad catch-up.
But the better
Nico
receiving
really,
core is Jacksonville.
Yes.
And the
but
better
I'm just
running back
saying,
room is Jacksonville.
No, I think Mixon, if healthy, is the best running back of the 2 teams. I don't think that's even with.
Well, I worry about his health and his
Okay,
age.
but if he's healthy, he's the best.
And so, listen, I strategically, for take protection, I should be going the other way. I should be talking about how Travis is gonna be a work in progress, rookie head coach, all these things. I am Jim Mora
can
style,
in his 5th
not
year.
Jim Mora, a Fossil, the Giants coach. Put all the chips in the middle of the table. Was it Fossil?
It was Fossil.
you could have used a poker term there.
Well, that's what he did.
Yeah.
I know, but you could have just gone right to poker.
I understand, but you guys don't. If I would have said Michael Mizrachi style, it wouldn't have meant anything.
I'm just
Makes sense.
surprised.
Well, hi, he's got the-
as much as you love
Poker
playing
face.
cards.
So the
I'm
point that
shocked
I'm
you didn't
making
do it.
is I am adding to the pressure on the Prince because. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.